Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 3, early predictions and updates and spoilers and live streams and all of those things combined. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Easter holiday. I see a few people jumping in chat. I was walking by and I think, I didn't catch all the comments, but I saw a comment of there's a lot of weeks to go until we get into the season premiere. But we're going to try to make it as seamless and as painless as possible. We are doing these a couple times a week, so Sunday Spoilers is now an episode review, Wednesday Walkers is now an episode review, and tonight we're going to be talking about what we think might happen in episode number 3. We're going to recap a little bit of what we talked about in episode 1, episode 2. Now, keep in mind, these are strict predictions. There are no spoilers whatsoever. So in a month or so, we might be going back through these episodes and giving some hard evidence of what we got right and what we got wrong. So I'm definitely going to be relying on each and every person in the stream. If you guys are new to these chats, you know these streams are all about you. So a lot of people in here. Happy Easter. Hope you guys are just having a wonderful holiday. I see a lot of familiar faces out there. Hello, Laura Brown from Alabama. How are you doing? Northside Queen. So we go South Alabama and then we go north. So Northside Queen, that's probably, is that like a Brooklyn name? I'm guessing. Maybe you're from, you got to be a New Yorker. What's going on? Lisa G, Jason Voorhees. Man, Friday the 13th in the house. What's going on? So we will recap some of this stuff. Just a couple things to get us started here. You guys know that your interaction, I'm going to read your questions. If you do not want your comments to be listed in a video, do not write them because I'm liable to pick you guys just randomly. Rebecca from Texas in the house. Sin Miller's in the house. So, and if you're new, just do me a favor. Just type a quick 999 up in chat. If this is the first time you've ever been in a stream, then I'd definitely like to see that. Most of the people here, I think, have been here at least once or twice. So thanks to all of you. Appreciate everybody being here. I know one person already is going to put 999, and he's here every single time. But anytime I ask, he just does it. Mountain Dew looks like a new name. I don't think I've seen that one before. I don't memorize all of them. You may have been here, but I haven't seen a lot of your chat. So what's going on? Vashon Clark in the house. Jill McGuire, thank you. Yeah, we got the crowd here. Time Wonder, thank you. Welcome to 999. This is the 999 Army. So those of you that are new, let me just kind of fill you in. Those people have been here for a while. You can put me on mute for a second because you know what I'm going to say. 1, slap the like button. Number 2, when this video does go live, you guys can get over. Just leave some comments on it. And this is basically interaction. It's like talk radio. I'm not going to throw a whole bunch of slides up there. We do have Morgan up there, but you guys probably noticed that when I do these streams, usually I take a picture and we do talk about the picture a little bit. So I think episode number 3, I got a feeling there's going to be some Morgan news. So we will talk about that. Iron that like button. Lucille the like button. Whatever you need to do. We'll get this thing up to 50, 60 likes, and then we'll get it up even higher than that. So I know the weather is getting beautiful outside, and we're probably going to have less and less people in these streams. Plus, it's a holiday. I know people are spending time either at church or with their families. So I wasn't expecting this to be like 200, 300, 400 people, but they will watch it on the replay. So that's why I need a lot of interaction here. And let me recap for you. So we'll kind of get everybody into, what's up, Shelton Arthur? We'll get everybody a little bit into the flow. Now, these are not 100% consensus. We didn't all agree on these. It was just some of my ideas, some of your ideas, and we pieced it together. So what we think may happen, this is strictly speculation. No spoilers. Episode number 1, we go back. Ezekiel, Maggie, they return to their respected areas. We think that Ezekiel might get a little bit bold and stop by one of the outposts, and Shiva dies. Maybe Jerry dies. Eugene will try to be clever, and he will give the pills to Amber to try to sabotage Negan. And we think the Oceanside, a couple people, Cindy being one of those, might make their way back to Alexandria. So then last week, we sort of piggybacked on that a little bit, and we said episode number 2, Dwight might officially defect. You know, maybe he's tired of playing both sides of the fence. And we got, we think Eugene might be caught by Negan, and then he really becomes Negan, because now he has no choice. That Negan might even forgive him. Ezekiel will go through the pain of the loss of Shiva. We think that Gregory might die by the hands of Jesus, and could be something with Rick or even Michonne starting to get their revenge on the scavengers. So that's kind of where we left it up to, and I got a few things that I think might happen this week. or not this week, in episode number 3, everybody's like, yeah, we want it to happen this week. Start the show already. And we're going to go through, I got about 5 topics we're going to talk about. So I'm just going to throw some things out there, and you guys feel free to leave your ideas. And once again, toward the end of this video, we'll open it up, and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about from season number 8. But for now, let's try to sort of minimize it a little bit and only talk about episode number 3. So here we go. The first thing that I think potentially could happen in episode number 3 is, because what we talked about in the first 2 episodes were pretty much what we expect to happen at some point in the season anyway. But what the writers do is they throw us that weird course of events. Something happens and you're just shaking your head like, really? They just did that? So in episode number 3, I think we're going to have that "oh really" moment, that we look at this person and say that's the dumbest thing they've ever done and they probably deserve to die. So I'm going to give you guys what you want. I know that Eric is not the most popular at this time. I think after everything that's going on, Eric is going to have that conversation with Aaron, and Eric is going to go try to make a deal with Negan. I'm going to predict it, episode number 3. Eric's like, okay, you know what, he can be reasoned with. He was there with Sasha. All he was trying to do was, figure something out. And I think Eric's either going to get captured or he's going to try to negotiate something with Negan, and Negan's going to kill him. He's not even going to give him a chance. So I think Eric is off the show, episode number 3. Leave your thoughts and comments. And I'm doing this partially because I know a lot of people want it to happen. So yes, I am caving in to the peer pressure of my subscribers who've been talking about this over and over. Let's just kill Eric in episode number 3. Anybody for killing Eric, just toss a 999 up in chat right now, and then we'll see who all's in favor of Eric dying. Joshua Woodland says, yes, Eric will die. Bree's like, Bree, I know you wanted Eric dead a long time ago. This is probably the Bree theory. She's already got Jesus and Aaron as a we're calling it Jaren. All right, Lisa's already on board. She's like, just kill him. Just get him out. Eric says he'll be executed by a rot. All right, see, there is a lot of anti-Eric out there. Look at that. Yeah, she's happy dancing. There you go. Get your happy dance on. Sue Smith. All right. So we at this point, and they've given Eric a little bit more face time anyway, where pretty much he was just staying at home and complaining about everything that Aaron did. But then he got to go to Oceanside, and he got to help out with a little bit of the shootout. But I think it's time for Eric to go. Gus Terhar says Tobin is going to die. Maybe. I do too. So Ethan says, I think Negan will Lucille him. Or, maybe it's maybe Negan will come up with another creative way to kill him. I don't know that there's going to be another Lucille victim, but Eric is the nominee. But I think episode 3 is going to be a good one. I know the premiere is always good, and then it usually slides back a little bit on episode number 2, and you're dealing with the consequence. But I got this weird feeling that it's going to ramp up for episode number 3, that something stupid's going to happen, so Eric dies. And it's not going to make a lot of people sad, but I am going to predict a couple deaths in this episode. So it's all about a theme. It's about a couple of relationships going forward, and it's about a couple people dying. So I think we'll have a little bit of the balance there. So I'm going to read a few of your comments. So Alexandria Bates says, kills I heard that season 8 is going to be late shooting. Could be like May 2nd. It normally, from my knowledge, it usually is in around the first week or second week of May. I think last year was the same thing. At least I didn't start getting information until the very end of April or early May. So Ann Hodge, we just basically recap what we talked about the last 2 weeks. So you haven't really missed anything yet. Sam Storm says, will Shiva die? I think Shiva dies in episode number 1. That was my prediction a couple weeks ago. I'm going to stand by it. Steph Richardson says, I think Jadis's crew will kill Eric. Possibility, but it would be kind of random, wouldn't it? I mean, give me a little more information. Let me know how you think they're gonna kill him. Tobin McLeod said episode 3s are pretty good sometimes. Ethan Cyan says, do you think there will be a battle at the sanctuary? That's a good question. Will they take the battle to the sanctuary? Maybe eventually. You know, for now I think it's going to be a lot of skirmishes. Moody Girl says, I don't care who kills him, as long as he dies. Jamal says, kills. How much spoiler information will we get when they start filming? You'll get a lot. Hey, well, you know what? D's. Let me show you where the exit is. This guy comes in and he basically says in so many words like, hey, I don't like this stream. Then why are you here? I swear, when people do that, it's like the epitome of ignorance. One day, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to be like some of these random people that come in chat sometimes. I'm going to walk in McDonald's and I swear I'm just going to yell really, really loud and say, hey, I hate Big Macs. I just going to happen one day. Unbelievable. Tommy is a little late. Yes, you are. And hey, thanks for that messenger message. Happy Easter to you too, Tommy. Appreciate that. When does the first trailer for Season 8 drop? It is... When was it last year? Wasn't it around the 4th of July? I think it was at San Diego Comic-Con. I'll have to go back and see when San Diego Comic-Con was last year. But I think that's when we first saw the trailer. I thought it was during the summer. It's Scribbles. Do you think Maggie will find a new boyfriend? I don't. You know, I've seen some of the comments either here or even on the Facebook. By the way, if you guys are new and you guys are not a full-fledged member of the 999 Army, Bree, Moody Girl, they have a 999 Army fan page set up that sometimes it looks like a shrine to Norman Reedus or Daryl Dixon. At least when Lindsay Luke is on. I mean, she has got some serious memes and clip art from Daryl Dixon. Her library is limitless. But when it is not a Norman Reedus shrine, there's some good conversation that goes back and forth. So some of the new members, you guys get over and check that out as well too. So some really good stuff, and appreciate your participation with that. Sin Miller's like, breaking news, YouTuber loses mind in local McDonald's. More at 11. I like that. It could happen. You know what? And I'm just going to say, somebody stormed one of my chat, and I was just kind of taken after them. What's up, Tyler Johnson? I'm gonna notice Tyler early before he starts typing, "Hey, Kills, notice me." See, like, soon as you walk in. So back to what we were talking about with some of the conversations about Maggie finding another boyfriend. I just think it's disingenuous at this point to Glenn. I don't see that happening. Maybe there's a male figure like a Daryl that would want to be involved in baby Herschel's life. But as far as a boyfriend, no. You know, it's not like the comics where people just hop from person to person. We build relationships with these characters. That's the big difference I noticed from the TV show and the comic. Yes, the comic is different, but I don't get emotionally attached to the people in the comic the same way I do when I hear them speak and see them. So could you imagine the backlash that Maggie's going to get if she, you know, a year after Glenn's dead, just rolls up with Daryl? It ain't going to happen. Nope, I just don't see it. All right, I am going to... So the first prediction is, I think Eric's going to die. And I'm going to move on to the next couple predictions. I will be reading your comments in there. If you guys want comments, just leave them. If for whatever reason you want to pay money and have a bold comment, then you can use the Super Chat feature below. If that does happen, which it has happened in multiple streams, we will stop whatever we're talking about and we'll talk about your topic because you obviously paid for it and you want it to be done at that moment. So let's move forward and talk about some other things that I think are going to happen. I think you're going to see, remember the chase down scene with Rick and Daryl going after Jesus? I think we're going to have some good teamwork. I think it's time for a little father-son bonding moment where Rick and Carl get out and actually go do a little bit of hunting, and hunting for scavengers. So I'm going to say in episode number 3, we've seen in the past, we've seen, Rick and Daryl, we've seen Rick and Michonne, with their sexcation. It is time that Rick and Carl go out and do some father-son stuff instead of Carl going out on his own with Jesus. So in episode number 3, here's my prediction. It is going to be some firepower. Rick and Carl are going to go out and get some revenge. Carl has become, I'm going to say it, he's become the official badass on the show. I was not a big Carl fan, but the way Carl turned around and started shooting, he did not hesitate. Carl has actually, he stormed into the sanctuary, started gunning Negan's men down. He turned around and started shooting scavengers. So of all the people that are hesitant, Carl is not. So I think it's time that Carl takes Rick out and teaches him how to mow down a few of the scavengers. So it's going to happen. Episode number 3. Write it down. Father-son revenge mission. And with that, that is prediction number 2 that we're stacking up. I want to see your prediction. So Emery Thorpe says yes, but will Jadis die in this episode? No. I don't think Jadis will die. I still think that there's more to the scavengers. I'm not going to go out on the limb just yet and say the scavengers become the whisperers. But I do think there's a lot more that can happen with the scavengers. But I think they are going to, they're going to lose some people. So it's either going to get them out of the junkyard and have to really partner up with Negan, or it's going to put them on the run. So, Lindsay Luke, episode 3, could Rick, Carl, Michonne, Daryl? I don't think so, Lindsay. I think it's going to be just Rick and Carl. I think it's time for, it's always them in a group. And I just got a feeling in one episode, it is, there you go. I like it, Northside. The Grimes getaway. Because in the comic, he's going to take over. He's going to teach him some things. Time for Carl to return the favor. All right, let me get to a few of your comments. Critalis 901. Hey, Kills, those mid-season picks. Yeah, the walnuts, because I remember doing a video on that where I said, maybe they could use the walnuts to make some gun stocks or something along those lines. I'm going to go back and really go through it to see if those things did pop up anywhere, and maybe I just overlooked them. Perhaps it was something, a scene in the kingdom where Ezekiel's talking to someone and the walnuts were in the background and it was just not even a hint or a clue at all. I love The Walking Dead. Kills, what episode do you think the Whispers will be introduced? It's a pretty common question. It gets asked a lot. I would say the end of the season, officially, episode 16. Maybe a little bit of a cliffhanger. But I've also went on record of saying, and we'll say it on Easter, that I think there's going to be some Easter eggs throughout the season. Not yet. Let's get to episode 5 and 6 and we'll talk about that. But I do think that we might see maybe Heath, maybe Sherry. I think we're going to see either Heath or Sherry's head on stakes. And that's not going to be the Whispers, but it's just going to be foreshadowing of what we're going to see. Weird Walking Dead theory says Shiva will eat a rot and spit her out. Yeah, I don't know if Shiva's going to be around that long, though. I'm really going to stick to my initial thought. I missed a Trinice question up there somewhere. There's a lot of questions going on, Trinice. You're going to have to retype it because, yeah, it's a lot of scrolling up to do. So I'll try to catch it on the next one. Please answer. When do you think Gabrielle will die? So, as you guys know, I have not read that far in the comics, but I have researched that. So Father Gabriel actually dies, I think he's in a tower. and the Whisperers are coming, and they start storming him, and he's getting ready to get down, and he falls out of the tower, and his foot gets caught. I think that's what happens in the comic. And then the Whisperers kill him. So it could happen before then, but I'm going to give him a little bit more time. The Diamond Cross 77. Love you kills. Love you too, Diamond Cross. It's all about the love. And I'm hobbled. Those of you who've seen my last couple comments and streams, I'm a little bit slower walking around today than I was yesterday. Heath will pull a Morgan and disappear. I think we're going to talk about Morgan in a minute. Yep. So Sheldon, and it's a good point. There's a lot that has to happen before we get to the Whispers. Skylar Roars says, please answer, will any major characters die in Season 8? Skylar, it's probably a question that's a little bit better asked toward the end of this when we open it up. We're going to open it up and talk about the whole season toward the end of the stream, usually the last 15 minutes or so. But this is more specifically to Season 3. So far, we've predicted that Gregory, not a major character, but we think Gregory could die, Episode 2. We think Shiva, Jerry could die. So at this point, we're not at any major characters. But I think Eric is another one kind of like Gregory. But the one I'm going to give you in a minute, I do think there'll be 2 deaths in Episode number 3. I love The Walking Dead. Kills, do you think Negan would be locked up like in the comics? I do in some degree. I don't think they're going to kill him. Trinice, do you think... Trinice, you left out something. I'm reading your comment. Okay. Do you think... Who do you think is going to die next? Eric. But... Okay, let me go ahead, because I don't want to be like a real bombshell with you guys. So... episode number 3, I think Eric will try to barter something. Negan's going to kill him. Rick and Carl go out. It's the Grimes family. Also, I'm going to say Morgan dies. Morgan's picture's up on there. I'll have to cut to the chase. I think Eric and Morgan die. And I think Morgan is either going to get scavengers, because either he's going to go after revenge, or I think Morgan might be going after one of those outposts. See, I got to think about it and figure. I just thought episode 3 would be something really, really big that's going to happen, because usually they lull you to sleep a little bit with episode number 2, and that's kind of what we talked about last week. Like Ezekiel's dealing with loss, Gregory, he's betrayed, so he knows. Eugene and Negan have their little interaction, but then I think they come back out and it's like, bam, episode number 3. So let's kill Eric and let's kill Morgan. So then the first thing is like, how's Morgan going to die? Well, maybe he follows Rick and Carl. Maybe he gets sniped by some scavengers. Or I think more likely, Morgan he wanted to go out and kill all of them by himself, remember? I mean, that's what he was going to do. So now that him and Carol are sort of back there, then Morgan, I think, will go out on his own. He's going to go out to a couple sanctuaries, take out a lot of them, but then I think one of them's going to take him down. So we are going to freeze this stream for 1 second. So this is what I'm talking about. So Melancholy Heart, $5 donation. Thank you so much. And here's the question, and we're all going to talk about this. This is super chat time. Do you think Glenn will come back just as Abraham did for Sasha? So, and I'm going to answer this question, and while I'm answering this question, if you guys could put what your thoughts are. I do think that there will be a flashback scene, but I don't think it's going to happen until Maggie has baby Herschel. So I don't know that that's going to happen in Season 8. It may not happen until Season 9, because we're still looking at what do we think Maggie is? A few months pregnant? So I don't think Season 8 is going to last 6 months. So I do think they're going to have to do a little bit of a time skip. And this is kind of getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. So maybe we have a whole season of war. Toward the end, 15-16, Negan gets locked up. And then we time skip. And when we time skip, he's been locked up for a few months. Which means we could also time skip to Maggie's baby. And that would either happen at the end of the season or season 9. And I don't think it's going to be Baby Herschel. I think they're going to call him Baby Glenn. I think they're going to mix it up from the comics. So, great question, and thank you, 1, for the question, number 2, for the donation, and number 3, for being a part of the channel. So I appreciate all of you guys. So, yeah, it looks like a lot of people, their consensus is they do think there'll be a flashback of Glenn, and it'll have something to do with the baby being born. I can't imagine another reason for them to show him unless Maggie were going to die. And would it not be... Oh, okay, so you guys are... Hey, thanks, Jared Wallace. Appreciate that. So I'm going to say... Thank you once again. Morgan will die, and I'm going to break my own rules here, because you guys know I like to stay with season number 3. But since you brought up the conversation and you brought up the topic of Baby Glenn, or Glenn, which could turn into Baby Glenn, how sad would it be for Maggie and Baby Herschel or Baby Glenn to take Lori and Judith's death? Oh, I know you guys hate me already, but you know, in the comic book, and if you guys called up, that kind of shocked me when Lori was running with Baby Judith and she got shot in the back. So wouldn't that be a rough way for Maggie to leave the show in like season number 9? Somebody storms the hilltop and Maggie's running out with Baby Herschel and bam! I know, I'm just saying. But that was a pretty epic comic death, and it didn't happen to Lori and it didn't happen to Baby Judith. What if it happened? Oh no, yeah, I know. Look, I'm seeing all the lashback already. It's not popular here, but it would be TV. I mean, it would be like epic TV, wouldn't it? Especially like all my female subscribers are like, "No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Hell to the no kills. You're a bad YouTuber. I'm unsubscribing from you right now." If I was a writer, I would do it. Just for shock value, just for ratings. Ethan's like, they won't kill no baby on TV. Okay. I'm just throwing it out. I didn't say it was going to happen. I'm just saying, what if? It's just a hypothetical. Negan's even talking. Me and Dwight are totally not cool with what you're talking about. All right, Dwighty boy. Gotcha. All right, moving on to the next topic. Cable TV won't go there. Moody Girl's like, Kill, stop thinking like a writer. Okay. Backtrack. People crying already. I don't want to think about it. That's funny. Steph's like, geez, why don't you just have Shiva eat Baby Glenn if you're going to do that? I mean, if you think about it, that would be... No, we're not... I'm not that cruel. Stop it. Not going to have a tiger eat a baby on television. Maggie running away and getting shot in the back with Baby Herschel would be brutal enough. We're not going to have a tiger eat a baby. All right, moving on to the next one. Do you think Negan's big beard was a flashback? No. Negan's beard, the story behind that had nothing to do with a flashback. It had to do, he was filming something else. And that's just, they had to film it that way. No more deer CGI. All right, we're moving on to another topic. So here we go. I said there was going to be a theme, and episode 3 is where they do this really, really wacky stuff. So I do think it's time for We're already on the topic of Maggie, so let me turn it around a little bit. I do think episode 3 they will show complications with Maggie's pregnancy. So agree with that or disagree. Here's why I say that. She just went through a pretty traumatic experience going in. There's the widow, guns a-blazing. So she went in guns a-blazing. She went back. More than likely, either she's going to kill Gregory or Jesus might actually kill Gregory. It's all going to sink in. So there's no doctor on site right now. So I do think there'll be complications with Maggie's pregnancy that they will have to address. Don't think it's going to, no, it's not again. I don't think it's going to be anything severe. I do think she will have the baby at some point. But I do think there's going to be future complications without the doctor there. The doctor leaving, I think, creates a storyline. And either we're going to need to get a doctor, or we're going to need to get that doctor back. Something has to happen. We got to find a doctor. Well, they did it already, but it doesn't mean they're not going to do it again. Because here's the thing. What did Abraham say? That baby Maggie's carrying, that's the future. So there's several things in the works here, and you got to know, they plant these seeds for them to become issues. They could have picked any dialogue whatsoever before Sasha died, but Abraham specifically talked about how important that baby was. And Maggie's going through all the stressful stuff, and the doctor's gone. It's a storyline. I don't think Maggie's baby's going to be a zombie. So, a lot of things still have to happen. And what better way to address it than when it starts to die down a little bit before it heats up? Because this whole season is going to be about, you need to be on pins and needles right now. It looked good at the end of the season, but trust me when I tell you, Negan is more ruthless than ever. So now that he's more ruthless, and you got the scavengers on your back, you could get struck at any time, any place, and there's just not enough people to keep watch. So think about how good Season 8 is going to be. Where every single episode, I mean, how do we know Negan's not going to pull a governor and just drive over the walls of Alexandria? Maybe he loads everybody up in some of their little military vehicles and bam, just takes it over. So I don't know how Rick and group cannot not be on edge all the time. I think they're going to be more on edge. Shane Roden says, Kills, do you think Maggie will die? Not Season 8. If I want to maintain my status and popularity, I'm going to say, no, Shane, of course not Maggie's going to die. What are you thinking? That won't happen. Season 9, Episode 3. Maybe Season 10. It's going to happen. All right, let's see. Ann Hodge. It's going to get bad. Yeah, I mean, I think they have to keep us on edge. And Scott Gimple said, he goes, you know, what did you think about episode number 100? And Scott Gimple, in his typical fashion, kind of stopped and thought about it and said, it's not really about episode 100. It's more about the next 100 episodes. Yeah, kind of like that. Which is true. You know, they have to live in constant fear and stress and anxiety. So if they live in constant fear and anxiety, keeps us coming back. And I think that was a little bit of the, I don't know if I'll say complaint, but some of the people that weren't real high on Season 7 was because there were a lot of episodes that didn't have that. I mean, let's think about it. Yeah, there was a few moments, but after the premiere, then the premiere definitely had its moments because, you know, you have the beatdown, then you got whether Negan's going to cut Rick's arm off with a hatchet or whether he's going to cut off Carl's arm with a hatchet. So you got all that sadness, and then all of a sudden we meet the Kingdom. And the Kingdom kind of gives us a little bit of hope. And the next thing you know, we're meeting Oceanside, and we get a little bit of hope, but there never really was that fear that something was going to happen. I think, throughout the rest of the season. I mean, we knew Spencer was on the short list. Not that we really care. I'm not answering any more Maggie questions. I've jested too long with that. I think Maggie is safe. Season 8. Let's put it that way. I think she's fine. Tobin McLeod, Killshot, love your streams. Thank you. I love all of you guys being here and being a part of these streams. So appreciate that. All right, so here's what we got so far. And I'm going to talk about prediction number 5. And at the end of this prediction, we're going to open it up and just go crazy. Let's get nuts. We'll look for the purple bananas until they put us in the truck. So we're going to do, this is prediction number 5. Let me recap. Negan kills Eric because Eric is a slime ball and tries to negotiate. He's going to die. Rick and Carl go father-son renegade. I could play Renegade by Styx in the background if you guys would like to hear that. They are going to go seeking revenge for what the scavengers did to Michonne. Even though she's kind of exacted her own revenge by throwing her off the roof or the balcony, whatever. Rick and Carl are going to, there's going to be some bloodshed. We also talked about Morgan dying. Morgan goes into vigilante mode. He's okay. He's at a good place with Carol. But he made a promise to himself. He's going to walk the world and kill him. So he's going to take down a few in one of the outposts. But they're going to get the best of him. Morgan leaves in episode number 3. And also we talked about Maggie's pregnancy complications. Just another storyline we need to talk about. And number 5. Here we go. I think, I mentioned before, this had a theme, right? A couple people die. I think, as I predicted last week, Dwight defects. I think we get to see Dwight and Daryl. Now, hold on a minute, because Daryl said, after it's all over, even if he's sorry, I'm going to kill that son of a bitch. All right, so Daryl said that. I think the chess piece, I think Daryl's going to test Dwight, and I think you're going to see dual crossbows. I get a feeling, I think Dwight's going to be, Eugene is going to be Negan, and I think Dwight is going to be Team Rick. And I don't think Daryl's going to kill him. I know he said it, but I think he's going to go back on it. And him and Dwight are going to make a little bit of a tag team. I think they're going to be a lethal tag team. At this day and age, I just don't see a reason to kill Dwight. They were killing Negan's men. Dwight was trying to kill their men. Dwight missed, was aiming for Daryl. It's an accident. Accidents happen. The gig is up. The news is out. They finally found me. Renegade, you had it made. Something for a bounty, I think, maybe. All right. So that's what I think. And once again, these are straight speculations. Let's talk about what you think. I've read some of the comments. So, Clemson fan, Dwight dies in the hands of Negan for his betrayal, end of season 8. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm open to any suggestions at this point. Skylar says, please read, will Tara kill Dwight if she gets a chance? Now, there you go. That could be something that happens. So you might have just thrown a little bit of a curve there. So maybe Daryl's testing Dwight. They go out, start to do their thing. Tara's the one that holds the grudge forever, and she's the one that actually kills Dwight later on. Not for a while, though. I could definitely see that happening. I like where you're going with that. But, I mean, wouldn't it be cool? Think about it. Dwight and Daryl, a couple motorcycles, a couple vests, a couple crossbows, riding around, taking out saviors. That would be fun. I would watch it. Yeah. See, there you go. Great Dane. D&D on the bikes with crossbows. Made for television. All right, let's get a few more comments here. So FG says, I think Negan gets defeated in the finale of Season 8. Negan will be shown again for the first time. Will be free. Lucille will break in Episode 9. What do you think? It's way out. I mean, yeah, it's possible. But it's the time lapse, the time skip is a little bit more than I've thought about because I'm trying to go episode to episode. But yeah, we'll probably talk about it in a couple weeks when we get closer. I'm just sort of piecing it together like a whole bunch of Legos. I am making my own Walking Dead Lego theory, brick by brick. Harley Quinn kills. What do you think is going to happen with Gregory? Last week we talked about Gregory dying, Jesus killing Gregory. Episode number 2. Carmen Trant says, I think Dwight will fully redeem himself. I do think he'll redeem himself, and I think he's going to become, I don't know if we'll say fan favorite, but I think he'll become liked by a lot of people. And I think if Tara were to kill him, that would definitely show you the complications of The Walking Dead, how it's not just about zombies, it's about, sometimes it is about revenge. What up, Chronic? I can't see the war lasting the entire season. I don't, well, it's not going to be your war per se, Lindsay. It's not going to be like, a bunch of people with machine guns. There's just going to be a bunch of subplots that are out there. So, and, we'll see. We'll do this week to week and see if we can't piece together how we think these wars could go down. I mean, even if it happens somewhat close to what we're talking about right now, we've already got 3 weeks under our belt and haven't even gotten a full-fledged war. So, and it's part of the reason why I wanted to do this for Season 8 is just to see what we think the storylines can be and how long we can drag it out. Can we drag out the war a whole season? All right, and we're about 40-something minutes here, so as promised, what I'm going to do is we're going to open it up for another 10 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes. These streams usually don't run a complete hour. I'll recap episode 1, 2, and 3 toward the end of this. But now we want to open it up just to general theories. So actually, you know what? I'm going to recap right now because some people got here a little bit late. First thing, though, if you guys have came in a little bit late, if you can just drag the mouse over, slap that like button. Can we get this thing up to 100 likes as quick as possible? Just bam, 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 bam. Lucille, that like button. Get us over 100 likes. That's our challenge number 1. All right, as I recap, and then I'll get your questions in a minute, we'll talk about just anything that you think will happen in season number 8. So episode number 1, this is our 3 weeks worth of predictions. Ezekiel, Maggie, go back. They got to go back and check on their people because, they just went through some stuff. Shiva and Jerry perhaps die on Ezekiel's way back. They find a outpost. They try to take it over, and unfortunately they get overran. Eugene gives his pills. He decides that Negan is onto him. He talks to Amber and tries to come up with a plan to maybe poison Negan. Oceanside finds Rick. We got to see that Cindy is going to be a bigger impact in season 8. Episode number 2, Dwight is like, I've had enough. I just got to get out. So Dwight makes his exit, gets back with Rick. Eugene is found out. Either the pills for Amber get found out, but Negan will find out that Eugene killed Sasha, or Eugene will admit it, and he's going to forgive him. But that's going to come at a price. Eugene will permanently be Negan. Ezekiel will have to deal with the loss of his right-hand man, Jerry, and also his little tiger. And Gregory, after spending a week or two at the sanctuary, comes back. Jesus is on to him. Jesus kills him. And Michonne is recovering and maybe even takes out a little bit of revenge. And what we talked about potentially for episode number 3, Eric, this is where the wacky stuff has to start happening. Eric decides to cut a deal. Eric gets killed. Rick and Carl go Grimes family getaway, and they destroy some things. Morgan dies by being a vigilante, and Maggie has some complications because there's no doctor around. And we also get to see Dwight and Daryl do kind of what Rick and Carl are doing, but they do it on motorcycles with crossbows. Okay, that's where we're at this point. That puts us all the way through episode number 3. And as I said, the fun in doing this is in about a month, I'm probably going to be going back through this and like, guys, we were really off on this. We weren't even close. We got like nothing right. So that's what we got at this point. And look at that. See how many likes we got? Well, while I was reading that, I didn't even look over and it hit 100. See, that's what I'm talking. You guys are like magic with this stuff. Okay, so open it up. Another 5 minutes. I want to see your thoughts, your comments. What do you think is going to happen by the end of Season 8? Let's skip the first 3 episodes. Negan locked up. Sherry going to make a comeback. Heath is going to find some contact lenses and be able to see again. Probably not. And we got Cratalis. Gary, Arat, and Jared all need to die. You know, we will have to, I think next week, not even next week, Wednesday night when we do episode 4, we need to talk about some of those, some people getting picked off. You know, will Gavin, I think there could be a storyline with Gavin. Charlie says, I wonder if the scavengers will become the Whispers. Somebody has to. Could happen. Raging says Negan versus Rick in a fist fight. Could see that happening toward the end of the season. Thank you for that comment. Kelly G says, Kills, do you think Negan goes and tries to find Maggie? You know, that's a tough one. You stumped me with that. Is she important? Could he kidnap her? Could he use her as leverage? Maybe. You know, anything is possible when we get closer and closer to all-out war. Kills. Will Gabrielle kill Tamiel? Ooh. Maybe. Let's talk about that in a couple weeks. Negan kills Jadis because he doesn't like her hair. Come on, Steph. What's wrong with her hair? No, he said, yeah, just because she's a freak. That too. ETZ Mom says at some point Maggie will get a visible pregnant belly. Yeah, that could happen, depending on the time lapse that we have. Let's see. Open up to a few more questions. Max Salmon, Kills. What episode will Heath come back? And Max, sit down for a second, Max. We need to have a talk. All right. Are you looking at me, Max? Heath is not coming back. He's gone. Ain't going to happen. He has already been taken. And this is my Heath theory. They broke his glasses. He is blind. Can't see. They're going to torture him. They're going to kill him. Heath is gone. I'm going to stand by that one because of all the theories I have out there. I think we're going to see. I think Heath is going to be, his claim to fame is going to be, he's going to be on a stake. And that's going to be how we know the Whisperers are right around the corner. But good question. Thank you. Jamal, did Tara shoot Rosita? No. No, Tara didn't shoot Rosita. Tara ran over to Rosita and saved her before she got shot again. And we got time for 2 more questions. Make them good questions. And then we're going to wrap this thing up like we do on Sunday nights. I have a blast with you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. And I'm scrolling through a few things. I just want to see some really, really good, solid questions. Kingdom has a... There you go. It's a good point. Kingdom has a doctor, so there shouldn't be any more. It's a good call out. Lindsay Luke says, I'm calling it. The Whispers will show up wearing Heath's face, holding Sherry's head. Absolutely could happen. I will not disagree with you. Unicorn Gaming, answer me. Let's see. Kills. Will the war take more than 1 season? No. I think the war's going to be done by the end of season 8. Vonda Martin, how you doing, Vonda? Do you think Negan will punish Gavin because he did not know about Shiva? Wow, that's a good call out too. He could. You know, Gavin doesn't want the stress, and Gavin does know some things. So yeah, Negan could definitely punish Gavin. I think that's a pretty good call out. And the last question is going to be, well, this is a good comment. Daryl and Rosita, it's possible. I don't know that it'll be Daryl and Rosita. It could be, I don't think it'll be Dwight and Rosita, because I think Dwight is still, you know, he's there because of Sherry. He's not going to give up on that. But yeah, I could see Daryl and Rosita in season 8. I mean, you know, Spencer and Rosita. So why couldn't it happen with Daryl and Rosita? I don't know that's going to be the focal point of the season, but, you know, people got to do things to kill time, right? So let's hold our breath, wait and see. And on that note, we are going to shut this stuff down. No exceptions. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Let me tell you a little bit about this channel really, really fast. We do Sunday night spoilers. Tomorrow night, we're going to do random things. Got some really good topics we're going to talk about. So if you guys could jump in there at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. A lot of fun with that. It is off the wall. It's anything. I'm going to throw some different topics out there. We're going to talk about them. Could be some there will be some Walking Dead connections there, but it's just going to be also just some random things that happen in life that we need to talk about. Who knows? You're liable to hear and see anything in that stream, so we'd appreciate if all of you guys show up. Also, there'll be videos throughout the week, gameplay, Walking Dead videos, all of those things. Wednesday night, we're going to get back together on Wednesday night, Wednesday Walkers. We're going to talk about Season 8, Episode number 4, and of course, we also have stuff we do during the weekend, especially Chill with Kills on Sunday mornings, and we continue the Walking Dead streams all night long, all night. I just went Lionel Richie on everybody here. So thanks everybody for showing up. I am going to do a lot of shout outs because we got 100 people around here. So at the end of these videos, if you're new, I like to give credit to everybody that makes this channel, and that's each and every one of you. So I do want to say, hopefully you guys have a wonderful Easter holiday. I hope work is not too stressful for you tomorrow, but if it is, you come in here and we will make all your stress go away tomorrow night when we talk about random things. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hot diggity dog. So I want to say what's up to James Walker, Emery Thorpe, Trevor Grimm, Carmen Trance. Thank you so much. Who else we got in the house? Kentucky Pricer, Shelton Arthur, Beniam Elias. Appreciate you being here. My mods, of course, the wonderful Bree Thompson and also Moody Girl. Give them a lot of credit. They do a fantastic job. Emma McCalick. What's up, Emma Mack? Good to see you. Andre Watson. Appreciate you being here. Tyler Johnson is like that popsicle on a hot summer day, and it is getting hot outside, so thanks for being here, Tyler. Lindsay Luke, supper is ready, and I hope you have a happy Easter too. Vonda Martin, appreciate you being here. Patrice, thank you. Trenice, a pleasure as always. Storm 3851, of course. I can't give you tomorrow off, but I'll give you a shout out. Tobin McLeod, thank you for being here. Lisa G, you have a great night. Teresa Brown's like a popsicle on a hot summer day too. Dual popsicle shout outs in one day. Thank you for being here, Teresa. Fit Cake, ETZ Mom, Kelly G, thank you as always. Northside Queen, pleasure. Michelle M, Skylar Roars. Skylar, thank you. A lot of good questions. Appreciate your interaction. Looking forward to seeing you in the next stream. Working Dead, Unicorn Gaming, Charlie Howroyd, what's going on? Sin Miller, thank you. Great Dane, I know. Great Dane is always peeking in my window. I'm watching you back though, buddy. I'm watching you. Mac Salmon, thank you. Sorry to break the news to you about Heath, my man, but he's gone. Tommy Mack, thank you. Hopefully you have a wonderful Easter. Gene Atkins. Who else we got? I'm trying to remember all these people. Jamal Rana. Clemson Fan 96. Appreciate you being here. Rebecca from Texas. Part of that 999 Army. Get over to the 999 Army fan page and post a lot of stuff. A lot of Daryl Dixon stuff over there, I'm telling you. Woo! It's like the 999 Army Killshot Norman Reedus page. All of the above. Harley Quinn, thank you. Appreciate you being here on Sunday nights as well. Death Row, thank you. You have a good one as well. Sue Smith, always a pleasure. Yeah, I got to stop the pole dancing. I got a little bit of a Achilles heel injury. Yep. Yeah, it wasn't from pole dancing, but let your mind run wild with that one. Knight Steph Richardson, thank you. And I think I got like almost all the shout outs. Sassy Cat, thank you. Appreciate you being here. If I did not call you out, if I did not give you a shout out, when this video goes live, get over to the comments and leave a comment, and I'll try to catch it next time. Thanks again, everybody. Looking forward to seeing all of you very, very soon. Peace.